are made with the best of intention, but the execution part sometimes would require certain serious monitoring and the real implementation to see things through, and that does not always happen.
Political will is a phrase that has been heard quite often in the last 1 or 2 years. Do you think, in your opinion, do you think that the will has become stronger or weaker in the last 1 or 2 years?
I think the government is responding to public feelings and the public feedbacks very well, and much better than in the past. But the leaders' decisions may not always filter down to the people who actually, the officials down in the various ministries who actually do the work and deal with the public and with the stakeholders. So this is one key area that Pemandu can actually even strive to do better.
As a businessman and as the head of a private university, Dr. Sri, I'm sure your lectures and the quality of your teaching faculty are absolutely paramount to the business. How have you been addressing this perceived deficit in teaching quality these past few years? How do you address it?
Well, recently we have been upgraded to a full-fledged university, and that can only mean one good thing for our students. It would require us to allocate more funds for R&D, research and development. It would also require us to get more PhD holders as our lecturers, and that would also require us to spend more to upgrade our facilities and other resources. So that should mean that we are in tandem with the government's intention to upgrade the quality of education in this country.
We are talking to Datuk Sri Clemency, the founder and group managing director of the education group Segi International. Datuk Sri, another company, another stock that has seen quite a nice rise in the share price from about 45 cent levels to about 70 cent levels at about a 60% gain is SYF Resources, the small furniture maker in which you've now built a 12 to 13% stake. You've got big plans for this company. You say that if you can grow margins, your participation is at board level. What kind of things are you going to do with SYF?
Well, SYF is not really a small furniture maker. They export mostly their products, and recently they have ventured into property development. And this is one area which I took exception to. I have discussed with the management, and they have agreed that they should try to get away from property development and go into related areas, which should be the case. They should concentrate on their core business of manufacturing business, upstreams and downstreams.
Well, skill and expertise and experience aside, property development is a business area that many companies have gone and diversified into and make a fistload of cash as a result. What are your biggest reservations about SYF going for property?
Well, I think that we should all try to concentrate on what we do best. Just as in indication, if Segi is going to venture into something unrelated, I think the stakeholders, the investors are not going to take it very kindly, because you are not concentrating on what you do best. Properties companies may make a fistful, as you say, but are those incomes sustainable? That's a key question to ask. At board level, we have agreed that we should look into other related business, either through mergers or acquisitions, and we should fine-tune our business model. And going forward, I do believe that SYF would have a brighter future.
Okay, well, this is a company that in the financial year ended July 2011 lost 2.2 million ringgit. Earnings per share were down 2.65% in the red. When do you think that these plans will make SYF turn a profit?
Well, I am in as a passive investor, even though I get involved at board level. In the driver's seat are the controlling shareholder, Mr. Ngachai, and his team of people. I've great confidence in them, and I believe they would know what to do best. So I'm in there for the long haul, and it should take a few years to see a more sustainable business model being formed, and I believe that going forward, SYF would make it as one of the better financial players in the industry.
Do you mean to say then that SYF will take a few more years before it turns a profit?
Well, I can't comment on the financials of a company that I'm not in the driver's seat, but I do believe that I have my reasons for making the investment. It's a leap of faith in the management.
Well, leaps of faith don't normally come with financial layout as well. You've been raising the stake from 10% levels, and last week you just bought another bunch of cash. You're now at total 13% of the company. What is this leap of faith that you're describing, Dato' Sri?
For one, I think that Nguyen Chai is a very hands-on operator. So he's not an armchair manager, and his team of people are very committed, and they have on the drawing board some plans to implement. So I believe that it's a matter of time before things get even better.
In terms of the business climate, a couple of weeks ago, there were reports coming from the Chinese Chambers of Commerce that among the Chinese businessmen, sentiment was quite poor. They were not very positive on the economy. The rising costs of doing business were largely to blame. Is that a sentiment that you share, Dr. Sri?
Well, all my life I have not been very concerned about the macro aspect of doing business. I believe that in good times and bad times, it's a matter of how we improvise and how to make the best use of opportunities presented to us. So going forward, I do believe that times can get more challenging, but if we know that times are going to get more challenging, it's a matter of how we put into place certain preemptive actions and measures to counter that.
Do you think that times will get more challenging? What do you mean by that? What sort of things will get more challenging?
In the property sector, for instance, everyone is saying that things have slowed down slightly. In education field, parents are complaining that prices have gone up and they have less budget to send their children overseas. So I do see that certain sectors are being affected. Even though, as far as education is concerned, the more parents decided that they cannot send their children overseas,